Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to look at all of the drama around the film It Ends With Us.
Hey! Stay away from her.
I filmed a video just about the promo stuff last week, and then I saw all these articles and rumors about lots of riffs on the set. And I just think, first, follow me on Instagram. Secondly, I just think it's kind of not even ironic. I suppose it's very on brand that, of course, Colleen Hoover's book adaptation film has come with a lot of dramas. It's just quite on brand, isn't it? So I think, I don't know what to start with actually, because there's a lot of things. I guess in no particular order then. Like a month ago, there was a blind item on Fomoir, is that what it's called? I don't know. That said, not a tip, but no one seems to be talking about Justin Baldoni, the director, missing from all the It Ends With Us promo. Not to mention Blake Lively doesn't follow him on Instagram. He seems to be cut off from the rest in that he hasn't been tagged in any of the main posts or events since May. So there's been like issues with it for a while, and the rumors have grown since then. There's an article from a website called World of Real that says It Ends With Us director fought with Blake Lively over the final cut. There appears to be a rift between It Ends With Us star Blake Lively and her director, co-star Justin Baldoni, who hasn't done much press for the film. Social media sleuths noticed that the cast wasn't really taking photos of him either at the film's recent premiere. Multiple sources are saying that there were competing cuts of the film. Apparently, Lively took over Baldoni's edit despite his cut having scored higher with the audiences. How did Lively get away with this? She has a powerful husband, Ryan Reynolds, my favourite, Deadpool himself, who basically took over the movie and buddied up to author Colleen Hoover to see that their cut won. And I can so just imagine, because one of the main issues that's arisen with the film and the promo around it is this is a book about domestic violence. Now, of course, if you read the book, you wouldn't notice it's about domestic violence until you're 50% of the way through, because that's when the first instances start to appear. Other than that, it's got this flowery book cover, and it's set up like a lot of her romances are all toxic anyway, but it's set up in the same fashion. I'm currently doing an in-depth book review on how Ryle, the lead, is interchangeable with any other coho male. The only difference between him and the other coho male leads is that he's actually called out for the abuse in the book, whilst the others are just abusive and the meta-narrative supports it. I've done 10 book reviews so far. You can look through the whole playlist to see what I'm on about. Warren in Maybe Now rapes Bridget. Every coho book has a man barricading a woman in a room or preventing a woman from leaving. Leeds in Layla tries to drug his girlfriend to commune with a spirit and then drowns the girlfriend so that the spirit, which was the original spirit of the girlfriend's body, can re-inhabit the... That's a whole thing. Verity, what's his face? Spoilers, I don't care. Kills Verity, right? Because of a manuscript. The male lead kills the titular character, Verity, and then ends up killing another woman in this bonus chapter. What else? November 9, Ben ruins Fallon's life and then they end up together. Like sets her house on fire. Didn't know she was in there, but sets her house on fire. Then they end up together. Ugly Love. Bloke has a romance with his stepsister and then is emotionally abusive to his latest love interest. It's just the only difference between Ryle and the others is that Ryle does actually hit Lily Blossom Bloom, and he's called out for he's not called out for his love bombing, because Coho thinks that love bombing is romantic affection. Anyway, let's get back to the article. The end result is that now Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively hate each other, according to Snyder's sources. Added that Lively has a massive ego, and Hollywood can sometimes tend to reward that. It's wild that the cast would shun Justin, not do any press with him. Makes no sense because he's the only one acting professional. He has been the only one during the promo to actually bring it back to the topic being domestic violence.
How did it change your mindset, I guess, going into a movie like that touches on domestic violence, among other topics? Don't want to give everything away, but how did that change you as an actor, as a director, in terms of how you see that issue and your role in speaking out about it?
Well, I think it's a great question. I think as a man, I'm always going to come with my own biases. And it's one of the reasons I was afraid to direct this movie, let alone act in it. And I wanted to make sure this film always had a female gaze, and I was never putting myself into it. But one of the things that I think is very easy to say, especially for us men, is when we maybe talk to somebody who's in this situation, or we read a book, or we or we hear a news story, the question that's always asked is, why did she stay? And that's the wrong question.
Yeah.
What we need to be asking ourselves is, why do men harm?
Whereas we'll see in a minute, Coho and Lively have just been pretending that it's a rom-com. And apparently, I think Vangelina just saw the film and she says, yeah, it's kind of like a rom-com edit. It's a bit weird. Whereas Justin's edit apparently was more in tune with what the theme of the book is meant to be. I'm going to go watch I know, loath to give the money, but I'm going to go watch the film so I can see for myself and so I can do a review for this channel, obviously. The end result is that It Ends With Us has received very mixed views from critics. Maybe hashtag release the Baldoni cut could become a thing on social media, I agree. A lot of this is hearsay, but I did read somewhere that apparently Blake got her own editor with the help of Ryan, and Ryan helped edit it. I don't know. They got their own editor, went behind Baldoni's back, and then, sucked up to Coho. The cast have also unfollowed Baldoni. It's so high school, and yet that is so on brand for Coho. People are saying, I bet it's a PR stunt because it seems up Blake's alley, but then it doesn't bode well for Justin, does it? I don't think it's a PR stunt. I think I could see Coho doing something like this anyway. Like, she fangirled when Blake Lively was signed on to be the cast. She fangirled. I can see her going along with Blake over, though, that is weird. Coho not siding with a man, siding with a woman. Maybe there's more to it than meets the eye. If you guys remember, about a year ago, Hoover announced an It Ends With Us colouring book, which was then criticised so heavily by people that she scrapped the project. She said, the colouring book was developed with Lily's strength in mind, but I can absolutely see how this was tone deaf. I hear you guys and I agree with you. No excuses, no finger pointing. I've contacted the publisher to let them know I would prefer it if we don't move forward with it. Thank you for the respectful discourse and accountability. Nothing but love. Which, maybe she's growing. Absolutely not, because in April 2024, Hoover released a line of long-lasting nail polish and press-ons with Olive and June. Colours are named after the book's characters as well as other books of hers. She just keeps trying it. She doesn't care. Not only that, but Blake Lively also launched in tandem with the movie's release a new product, her hair care line at Target. These people don't care. They don't care. They just will use any opportunity to hawk any product they can. Hoover also told today's Jenna Bush Hager in 2023 that she made a mistake with the characters' ages in the book and that both should be older, especially given Ryle is a neurosurgeon. As an author, we make mistakes. Author is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. She explained in her interview, there's no 28-year-old neurosurgeons. I thought Ryle was 30. Do you not remember your own characters' ages? Be quiet. You go to school 15 years. And so to make up the corrections, what I messed up in the book, we age the characters up somewhat. There's a thing when you're writing, called editing. And in the editing stage, that's when you're meant to do the research. Have you ever heard of that? Research, Hoover. You ever heard of doing work when it comes to your writing? Check out my book review. That'll be released any day now because we go into it. So Hoover will never stop with being inappropriate. First a colouring book, then a nail varnish set. I wouldn't put it past her to not try to do a makeup line with Sephora next. It Ends With Us themed. But it's not just her. I think people around her team, need to say no to things more. How would you not know that any of those are not a good look in the year of our Lord? Are you all a bit dumb?
Are you dumb?
If you are dumb, how are you getting these jobs? It absolutely baffles me. There's an article behind a paywall, so I'm just going onto the Reddit to see what people, because they've quoted the article. Someone said, the article is what It Ends With Us says about the Blake Lively brand. It's on New York Times, but it's behind a paywall. I ain't paying for that. A snippet from the article says, a promotional email explained how to make It Ends With Us inspired cocktails using Betty Buzz. One recipe calls for Reynolds gin. Ryan Reynolds has that's something new every day. It's a cheery gimmick that seems awkwardly out of step with the context of the film itself, which tells the story of a woman dealing with domestic violence. So we've used this film to attempt to promote a colouring book, to promote a nail varnish line, to promote a hair care line, and now to promote an alcohol line. And in the book, in the first instance between Lily and Ryle, when he's abusive to her, they're drunk and he pushes her into a cupboard so hard that she like smashes her cheekbone against it. And Lily even says to herself, oh, maybe it's because we've been drinking, no more alcohol, no more drinking. So can you not see how maybe people would find this quite insensitive? It's just so weird of all of them. There was also a TikTok user who came out with a TikTok, surprise, surprise, defending Justin Baldoni, saying that he's a nice man, he cares about domestic abuse, and he's compassionate and nice to work with. I mean, it does seem like he's been way more, because I haven't seen him hawk a product yet. What's he going to do? Like, oh, Ryle wears a Burberry shirt in the first chapter. If Justin Baldoni comes out with a Burberry collection, it ends with us inspired, then I'll take it back. But it does seem like he's being a lot more considerate than Blake and much more than Colleen Hoover, which is so weird of her because she's the one that wrote the book in the first place. Anyway, The Hollywood Reporter reported that Justin Baldoni hires crisis PR veteran amid alleged It Ends With Us rift. Retained the services of Melissa Nathan, who represented Johnny Depp during the Amber Heard trial. Even Colleen Hoover doesn't follow Baldoni on Instagram. Very weird behavior from her. He follows all of them. Sources have told The Hollywood Reporter that there was a fracture between Baldoni and Lively in the post-production stage, wherein two different cuts of the movie had merged. Lively commissioned a cut of the movie from editor Shane Reed, who was an editor on Deadpool and Wolverine, according to multiple sources. The hiring of the agency group comes as Baldoni has been the subject of negative headlines over allegations that he made Lively uncomfortable on set. Let's get to that as well, actually. Why would he hire a PR team? Because TMZ reported just a day or so ago, Blake Lively felt the kissing scene lingered too long and feels that he fat shamed her. Which the conspiracy theory is that Justin owns the sequel rights to It Starts With Us, apparently. And the theory is that Blake is trying to muscle him out of the project so she can take over it because she's got a big ego. And the theory with this, people on Reddit are saying, is that they're really trying hard to paint Justin in a bad light. But if this is what they've got, it's really weak. Let me read you the TMZ article. So, sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ, sources with direct knowledge, probably Blake Lively herself, there was a scene in which Justin lifts Blake into the air. According to our sources, Justin has a history of back problems, and before lifting Blake, he went to his on-set trainer and asked how much she weighed and how he could train to protect his back from injury, which isn't him saying, if this is true, it's not him saying, well, if she weighs a certain amount that I can't lift, she should lose weight. That's clearly him saying, God, fucking fed up. I'm here defending a man. This is what you've done to me, Coho. That's him saying, how can I train to be able to lift that weight rather than she lose weight? Clearly. Blake later found out about Justin's comment and felt he fat shamed her. We're told this comment really bothered Blake, who gave birth to her and her husband Ryan Reynolds' fourth child in February last year. Our sources tell us the second incident that allegedly made Blake uncomfortable on set is when the two engaged in a kissing scene and Blake felt he lingered longer than he should have with the kiss. See, this is a bunch of hearsay. Some sources we spoke to also claim some cast members are milking the drama to market the film. Now, the thing is, I could maybe imagine if a comment like that was made, Blake taking it the wrong way, but taking it the wrong way on purpose. There was a video that was put up a few days ago from, I believe, a Norwegian reporter or journalist who once interviewed Blake Lively with a co-star, and upon congratulating Blake on her little bump, i.e. she was 6 months pregnant at the time and everyone knew about it because she kept talking about it, Blake then turned around and said, congratulations on your little bump.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
You've got two nice ones.
And they are kind of bumps, aren't they?
No, not bumps. The lovely lady lumps. Check it out.
So essentially body shaming someone who maybe not in a direct way, but she was congratulating a pregnancy that everyone knew about, that was spoken about publicly. And then from that same clip, the interviewer then asked about the set pieces, the clothes, and Blake took this the wrong way and tried to make a faux feminist point of would they ask that from the male actors.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Did you guys love wearing those kind of clothes that you...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, working in digital...
Everyone wants to talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes.
I would.
I love Jesse's suits and how
that's what I'm saying. His wardrobe was beautiful.
I know,
Corey's
everybody.
wardrobe was
I know.
gorgeous.
He's
Those
so
high-waisted pants.
He's so great.
I wish men
and
wore
sorry
high-waisted pants
too.
like
I know.
that still. Or
too.
the father with his tank top in bed.
It's so good.
It's just like
Did you
that.
catch
You could feel
the
it.
tablecloth on the light in the Italian restaurant when they eat spaghetti?
I didn't
and
notice that. No.
There's
So I
so
feel
much
like-
warmth of everything, you know.
Yeah, it's not just the women that have the clothes.
But
I feel like the women
Victoria-
get the conversation, but it's like
Yeah.
every detail with everybody.
But
Like,
yeah,
it's so,
it was
so
amazing
beautiful.
to look at.
Steve's
And then to see
white
it,
suits.
And the whole time, her and her co-star, they're not really looking at the interviewer. It's really awkward. It's such catty, mean girl, horrible behavior. No decorum, no professional decorum in the slightest. But the film that they were being interviewed over was a period piece with like period piece clothes. I don't know. I've not seen the film. I've just Googled this. So it would kind of make sense to ask a question about that. And also there were some bits where like bros were just yapping and they weren't saying anything of substance. They were just saying a lot of words.
That was one of my favorite things about the movie, were the subtle turns to their own transition into like the ego of showbiz that Kristen has in that scene with Steve Carell, and then with Bobby taking on the persona of a cut owner, but still like these things you do in your adult. When you have to work, you play a part, you play like your life in a way that you find successful for to carry out choices, and they carry this love.
So I could maybe see Blake taking this comment and trying to turn it into something it's not for reasons unbeknownst to all of us. There was also a recent interview regarding It Ends With Us, I'll play it now, where the interviewer was just asking, essentially, this film is going to resonate with a lot of people. What would you say if some of these people, if your fans come up to you and want to talk to you about their own experiences?
Start with you. Most of us, if we're lucky enough to run into a celebrity in public, we only have a few moments to maybe speak with you guys. But for people who see this movie, who relate to the topics of this movie on a deeply personal level, they're really going to want to talk to you. This movie is going to affect people, and they're going to want to tell you about their lives. So if someone understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, and they want to really talk to you, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
Like asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you, and then we could I'm just
Social security number.
I'm a Virgo, so I'm like, are we talking logistics? Are we talking emotionally? And then we could I'm just a Virgo, so I'm like, are we talking logistics? Are we talking emotionally?
It is a bit of a clumsy question, I will admit, because celebrities aren't, and Blake Lively is a celebrity. Everyone loves her from Gossip Girl, and I've watched some Gossip Girl, and like, sorry, she's whatever.
Oh my God. Talk to me.
I can't. No.
Thanks.
But celebrities aren't therapists. However, Blake has chosen to be in a film with a serious theme of domestic violence. So in a parasocial way, it would make sense that there are going to be some people who are going to have experienced it themselves and maybe want to speak to her about it because she's the one who's chosen to be in this film and has chosen to produce this film and take a lot of creative control of this film. So it's a bit of a clumsy question. It does kind of make sense though. And her response was just, I'm a Virgo. That explains everything you need to know about her. She's an astrology girl. Funny though, I'm so not into astrology. And then I read something the other day and I was like, oh my God, this is like so. Anyway, Aquarius.
It's all making sense. It's all making sense. It's all making sense. The pieces of the puzzle are coming together. I'm understanding now.
She's just rude. She's a mean person. And I defy anyone who wants to argue that with me. Coho probably thinks I'm a really mean person because I make fun of her shit books. For like, I wouldn't make fun of your books if they weren't shit, babes. Like, get good. Sounds like a skill issue on your end.
It's all making sense.
See? People are going to think I'm mean for that, and that's fine. Like, I recognize that actually sometimes I can be a little bit rude and mean when I'm not I have a very low tolerance for stupidity. I have a very low tolerance for everything, right? So I can be a little bit snappy and rude. So as someone who can be quite mean and rude sometimes, I can completely recognize that Blake Lively is a mean girl. But she's like a high school mean. You know, like Catty would giggle with her friends about like you looking ugly or your outfit looking bad. Whereas I'm just like a God, I hate humans mean. There's a difference. I'm a nihilist, misanthrope, Aquarius. Whereas she's just like a basic mean, like has a big ego, thinks she's better than the rest of us kind of mean. You are the one that has chosen to be in this film. And she could have easily just been a bit considerate. In that moment, she could have been humble and said, whilst she recognizes that she's been in this film, she's probably not the best person to talk to about such serious issues. And check out some local resources in your area or support groups. Or she could have said something along those lines, but she didn't. And this whole time, whilst they've been promoting the film, they've been doing these flower pop-up shops and doing this cutesy, acting as though it's a rom-com. And because they've both been getting, her and Coho have both been getting backlash, they did both put up on their Instagram stories the other day, I think for the first time, here's some domestic assault hotlines that you can call if you know anyone that's experienced this issue. Thing is they've put it on their Instagram stories, which, self-delete after 24 hours. So, okay. There was also, I saw an Instagram video where Ryan Reynolds was interviewing the bloke who plays Atlas, and again, used the opportunity to turn it into like a funny fluff piece.
It's not every day the husband gets to interview his wife's love interest in a film. It's kind of crazy.
I don't remember seeing this on the schedule.
Let's dive in, shall we? So I saw you posing in a photo with Mrs. Reynolds, and I'm sorry, what do you call her? Do you guys have a nickname or something? Okay, no, just so it's Mrs. Okay. Anyway, I saw this photo. It was very suggestive. So I got it right here. I'm gonna get right to it. How do you explain that? Is that genetics? You have some sort of like low angle squat routine to pop that region in that way? I mean, what's going on here, man? Are you smuggling pumpkins? Got a couple of small pumpkins there? Jesus Christ, my heart is beating like crazy right now. This reminds me of when I went on that meth journey, confront my inner child.
And I wasn't a meth journey. I think you mean like ayahuasca, like South American plant known for its medicinal benefits. Definitely not meth. You should not be doing a meth journey.
I've been on a meth journey for about 6 months now.
I mean, I'm not a doctor, but you're probably gonna die.
I don't feel well.
You don't look well.
More than, the heart of the subject matter, which is domestic violence. Justin Baldoni has also since said, according to People.com, at the New York City premiere, when asked about the sequel, he has said, I think that there are better people for that one. I think Blake Lively's ready to direct. That's what I think. And what I think is he is washing his hands clean of the lot of them, which, fair enough, you could not pay me £1 billion to direct a film alongside Coho. Coho, Blake Lively, Penelope Douglas, Nightmare Blunt rotation, right? You could give me £1 billion and I would say no, I'm not going to be in the same room as Colleen fucking Hoover. He even said he told E.T. on the red carpet, not extraterrestrial, but entertainment tonight. This isn't my night. This is a night for all the women who made this. We made this movie for. This is a night for Blake. This is a night for Colleen. I'm just so grateful that we're here 5 years in the making. What comes to mind isn't so much the work that went into it, but the why behind it. The why was that if a Lily Bloom in real life can sit in this theatre and maybe make a different choice for herself than was made for her, maybe she sees herself on that screen and leaves the theatre and chooses something different for herself. That's why I made the movie. Fair enough. He seems all right. I'm always hesitant to be like, oh, but this Hollywood person, they're probably all right, because you'll always find evidence to the contrary. So it's better to just not like anyone except for Keanu and Pedro. I'm told Hugh Jackman's very nice. But regardless, what do you think about the sheer amount of drama that's been going on with It Ends With Us? Do you think it's a PR stunt? Because I would disagree, because if it is a PR stunt, it doesn't make Justin look good. I think Occam's razor, Blake and Coho are just insufferable to be around. See, there's the mean girl in me popping out. But they've been like, Coho's been just plastering Blake all over Instagram, being like, girls supporting girls, women bring women up. Like, shut up. Have you ever objectively read one of your books? You are not a girl supporting girl. If Colleen Hoover has one hater, it's me. If Colleen Hoover has no haters, I'm dead. And they could never make me like any of you. Anyway, I think I've covered a lot of it. Let me know if there's something that I missed out. That's all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you think I should go see It Ends With Us so I can do a video review, because I will suffer if it means that 100 people don't. Also, I like cinema popcorn. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.